It's a complex issue that touches every facet of our community. New numbers estimate at least 33 people experience domestic violence every day in Dane County. And those incidents can and do escalate. There have been a number of high-profile homicides in the last few years. Sierra Finkley is accused of stabbing her boyfriend to death in August, hours after he tried to run her and her daughter over with a car. Last year, a double homicide. Dane County Sheriff's Deputy Andrew Steele shot and killed his wife, Ashley, and her sister. And 3 years ago, a father ran over his 2-year-old son, Yandel Castillo, and tried to kill the boy's mother. It is hard to process why these crimes happen.
There are many layers to domestic violence and why victims don't leave their abusers. There can be fear, shame, and worry about what will happen to their children. Amid
all of the complicating factors, there's one that's increasingly becoming an important part of the conversation: race. Tonight, and only on NBC 15, the barriers for women of color and what we can all learn from one survivor's story.
Everything was fine. I'm, just teenagers and growing up and having fun.
Melissa Torres graduated, got pregnant, and then married. But the pictures don't tell the story of what started happening between her and her husband behind closed doors.
He put the gun directly to my chest, my son in my arm, and the gun to my chest, looking dead at me. He says, "I will kill you."
Melissa didn't tell anyone. Life went on, and her son grew older, but the violence didn't stop.
He just kept wailing on me and hitting me in the face, and all I could do is, protect myself. And out the corner of my eye, my son is. I've never cried. My son is staring at me. He's 4. He's staring at me, and he doesn't say anything. He doesn't say anything. And to this day, I ask him little questions because I don't want to trigger anything, And 16 goes, "Do you ever remember Dad doing anything?" He's like, "No, Mom, what are you talking about? Dad never hit you." And I thank God and I pray that my children don't ever remember these things.
Melissa is not alone, and for women of color like her, the statistics are alarming. African American women are 3 times more likely to be murdered by an intimate partner than members of other racial backgrounds. As many as 61% of Asian women report experiencing physical or sexual violence by an intimate partner. And Hispanic women, like Melissa, are more likely than non-Hispanic women to be raped by a current or former intimate partner, but less likely to report the abuse to authorities.
It's scary, but I can identify with that, because in our culture, you're taught how to be strong. As a woman in the Spanish community, you're the backbone.
Diara Williams-Sturtevant, a day's program coordinator, says there are a number of barriers that make it even more difficult for minorities in Dane County to get help. The feeling that they don't relate culturally to service providers, or that violence is normal or more accepted in communities of color. Immigration status, language barriers, transportation, forced isolation, and distrust of law enforcement and the system.
They don't want to be another statistic, and they also don't want to, if their partner is also a person of color, they don't want to continue to add to those statistics in victimizing them and also making them just another person of color who's, going to prison.
In the last year, Days completed a community assessment, getting feedback from more than 200 victims, survivors, volunteers, and service providers. Executive Director Shannon Berry says the results are eye-opening.
What we're hearing from domestic violence victims and survivors is still a feeling of shame about what's happened to them, and a feeling of fear of reaching out for services, fear that they're not going to be believed, fear that they're going to be stigmatized. That to me highlights that we still have a lot of work to do.
For Melissa, it took years.
I was going to leave definitely if someone would just, give me a chance.
Days services and her son helped her stop the cycle of abuse.
What I wanted to show him is that, well, let mommy be strong in a positive way.
The now 36-year-old has a 16-year-old son and a 5-year-old daughter. And she
if
says
someone would
she hopes
just,
her story helps
you know,
other
give me a
women
chance.
see that they're not alone.
I love them. And they're the reason why I do this. And I didn't quit.
And I want to thank Melissa for being brave enough to share all of those details. Days says victims who reach out and connect with services typically are much safer. Days offers free and confidential services. They have bilingual advocates, a helpline, texting line, support groups, and legal advocates. And if you'd like a culturally specific agency, there's Unidos Against Domestic Violence and Freedom Inc. We have more information on Newslinks at NBC15.com.